WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, let's do it, Jarom, Tanner, and Nolly.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB Podcast, part of the Hockey Podcast Network, presented by DraftKings. It's Jarom, it's Tanner. Happy 2024, the year of Nolly. Unfortunately, but hey, it is what it is. Tanner, what is going on, bud?
Hey, happy New Year. Let's go. It's 2023 is over. It was a year. Good in some ways, pretty poor in others, especially the last couple weeks.
2023 was one of those years that it was bittersweet.
Yeah, it was very transitional.
We saw the official end of an era with Kane and Taves playing their final games in Chicago. Well, as a member of the Blackhawks, at least. But we welcomed in the Messiah, Connor Bedard, to Chicago. And yeah, we burned out. The Phoenix burned out right away, and then the already rise from the ashes. And we are in such good shape right now, despite the last couple of weeks of Blackhawks hockey. It's just 2024. I don't know how you're not excited for it, especially from a Hawks fan perspective.
Yes. We have another chance at a number one overall pick, which is amazing.
It's going to happen. Did you see the clip I sent you yesterday?
No.
They asked his first jersey, and he said his first jersey was a Jonathan Taves.
Yeah, bud. It's pretty nice. Might as well make it happen. He's also from Vancouver, so it would be a Vancouver connection with our two first overall picks. Can you imagine we get second, and whoever picks first just doesn't pick Celebrini?
I don't know who, because I don't even know who else is in the running.
There's that Cole Iserman kid, and there's I think a Russian kid named Demidov. Yeah, but who knows? More than
I think Russians are going to be off the board, though.
Yeah, there was all the chatter of keeping them in Russia for there's a time frame which they have to stay or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Putin is ordering all young athletes to stay in Russia. It'll be interesting. So, Philly, Mishkinov, nice call. But anyway,
they already knew that he wasn't going to be there for a few years. I think it's now that everybody knows that almost all the Russians aren't going to be there for a few years, they're gonna drop in the draft.
Yeah, I just wonder if it's a different time frame than what the Philadelphia Flyers originally thought. Now, I wonder if that got
pushed back.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're probably not too worried about it because you see how long it took Kaprizov to come over to Minnesota and now what they're doing with them.
That's fair. Very fair. But yeah, so as you said, the end of 2023 for the Hawks wasn't great. Since we last recorded before taking the holiday week off, very mixed emotions with the team. They played probably their best game of the season right after we last recorded against Colorado.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Full game too.
Yeah, full game. And then they proceed to just do nothing the rest of the way.
Well, here's the thing. It's not that they didn't do anything. It's they had leads. And they completely 2 games in a row gave up 5 straight to lose the games. That's true.
That St. Louis game was probably the worst game of the season.
Especially since Bedard fucking did the lacrosse move in the first 3 minutes of the game. First shot for the Hawks was the lacrosse goal, the Michigan, the Mike leg.
Can we talk about how amazing it is? Not only that he did that, but that he did on Binnington. Yeah. And now for the rest of Bedard's life, every time that they show his highlight reel, Binnington is just going to be on there getting looked like an absolute joke.
Yeah, with his eyes closed.
Oh. Christmas came early, a couple days early with that right there. That's all I needed. I was happy right there.
It's pretty great. Pretty fantastic.
But yeah, since we last recorded, they finished 2-3-1. Their 2 wins came against Colorado, and then an overtime win against Winnipeg.
Which Bedard
And
sniped on that goal too.
that was the Bedard show. And
Yep.
I think we're not really going to talk too much about these games just because, it is what it is and it's been long enough. But
There's a lot to go into, but the main factor is the team is young and just riddled with injuries. So
right.
when they are in these games, it's pretty much a fucking miracle.
And the miracle right now, this is the Chicago Mrazeks and Bedards. Like those two guys single-handedly are keeping this team competitive.
Yeah, that's true. And it sucks because I mean, you look at this Dallas Star game that happened just recently, and you're like, how can you say Mrazek's like doing great? It's like, I mean, he's the position that he is in. If he was a mediocre goalie, he would be giving up a lot more games just like that, rather than getting a 2-1 win against Winnipeg or winning that game against Colorado. Like it's insane.
He was due. I mean, he was due for a bad game.
Yeah,
I mean,
when you get shelled like that, and they're like all they're doing is like they're basically wide open right in front, or like they have nobody on them enough and like tipping pucks from the point. It was just oh god, it's brutal. You feel bad.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back to the last time he played like that was the game before Thanksgiving against Columbus, I
Yeah,
think. So it's been a month. I mean, you could say what you want about Mrazek, but it's like, hey, between the day before Thanksgiving to what was it? The New Year's Eve, you've had 2 bad games. Fucking
yeah. You can probably toss in like the what? I mean, did he play against Montreal? And then
I
it
think
was
so.
Soderblom against St. Louis. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to catch the Montreal game, but letting in 5 straight, I don't know how much of that was on him versus like the team as a whole. But it's tough. It's a very opposite feeling though of like what Toronto's going through, right? Like the Hawks make many mistakes because they're a young team, but they're still getting plenty of saves. Whereas Toronto like makes a few mistakes and those are getting let in, and then you see
Yeah.
Samsonov getting waived.
Oh man. And I was throwing out there that the Hawks should trade Mrazek for him in a first round.
Yeah, why not? Right? They got to dump
And they
him.
just waive him. But yeah, I mean, talking about the Winnipeg game a little bit, December as a whole, but that game specifically, I think is going to look back as the true introduction of Connor Bedard to the NHL.
Yes. Yeah,
Like
his confidence is through the roof when he's pulling that off.
he is absolutely feeling it. I mean, he scored both goals that game against Winnipeg. The first one, he puts the puck on net. He doesn't give up on it. He gets his own rebound between his legs as he's falling.
Oh my
god. He throws it on net and gets the goal. And then
I forgot about that too.
Yeah. Then Mrazek lets in one goal that he obviously would love to have back. Like it wasn't the best goal to give up, but he shut down the Jets the rest of the way.
That was probably the worst goal I've seen him give up this year, and he like was stellar the entire game still.
Yeah. Then you get to overtime, and Bedard picks the puck up in his own zone, skates it all the way down, throws it on net for a nice little snipe in the win. Like the confidence he's showing and just relax. It's like you look at him and it's like this kid's 18 years old only.
Yeah, and he just the fucking calls it
game over. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god.
What I don't understand with that one too is like Winnipeg. What are you doing? Like he went untouched. Like
I think that they're just scared to get dangled too, right? Like,
I think that's
some space.
So you either have to play the body and take a chance of getting just absolutely walked, or you sit back and give him all the time in the world to just fucking rip it.
Let him rip.
No win. No
the
win.
The crazy thing too is that like that's Hellebuck, and there wasn't a screen. It's just a shot from like the top of the circles in the middle of the ice, and he just ripped it past him. And I was like, how the hell?
Oh yeah. But yeah, I mean, his December. Let me pull that up because I only Oh shit!
His whole December.
Yeah, his whole December, 5 goals, 10 assists, 15 points. He was tied with Fantilli, I believe, for the rookie leading goals. He led the rookies with assists, and he led the rookies with points.
Nice.
He is, I believe, 10 or 11 points ahead of the next rookie.
Yeah,
for league leading
including
points.
Last game, probably.
Yeah, so I know coming into the season we talked about having don't get too excited, like manage your expectations a little bit, let him adjust. Is it safe to say we can go ahead and be like, oh shit, this kid is what we thought, and let's fucking go?
I don't think we need to pump the brakes on the hype. I think it's just each game. It's so fun to watch each game because you don't know what kind of thing he's going to do next, but he's going to do something.
Yeah,
it's incredible. That's what makes it fun to watch too, right? Like
100%.
There's not a lot to look forward to, like because the team is in shambles.
The team's yeah.
You can't, man. They're just riddled with injuries right now. Which, by the way, more injuries.
2 more players added to the IR. Tyler Johnson got added to the IR today. Taylor Radish, what was it on Thursday?
He played 50 seconds of like the first Dallas game, I think. On
Radish?
the 29th. Yeah, Radish.
Okay.
And then Tyler Johnson was just put on the IR today. I don't remember what I saw about it. I think it was like a shoulder maybe. But right now on the IR, we got Seth Jones, Taylor Hall, Tyler Johnson, Andreas Johnson, Joey Anderson, and Taylor Radish. Pretty cool stuff. So they called up Brett Sini today too.
Put Bedard in a goddamn bubble and protect him at all.
Yeah, right. From the games, do you have any other like notes on any other kind of players that you were seeing?
I'm still really impressed with Jason Dickinson.
Yep. He's the only over the last 2 weeks. He is the only, he's a plus player, but he is the biggest plus. He was +6.
Yeah, +6,
which is pretty incredible when you're losing a game 8-1 and dropping 5 goals on against you on a couple of the other teams. I was noticing, dude, Cole Gutman looks really confident out there. He's been looking a lot more confident. He's flying too. And then Anthony Beauvillier is kind of impressive. And I'm just kind of like, I think he's like a little snake bitten because he's getting some good chances and like either just missing wide or like hitting the pipe. But he looks good too.
He looks good. You can tell he's still just trying to find his spot here. And
yeah,
I mean, it doesn't help too that you get traded in mid-season and you get thrown into the line blender right away, and you can't get a consistent line going yet.
Right. I mean, plus the injuries don't help out with that.
Correct. But yeah, Vlasic too. Still
looking good.
Still looking good. It was great to see Korchinski back with the team. That was great. And looking good out there as well. I mean, he even gave him the chain or whatever after the game against the Jets, I think.
Yeah, the Winnipeg game.
Yeah. So, and then just Mrazek.
Yeah,
I mean, we touched on them already, but it's like, it's the usual suspects, I feel, but it's like you can't go against them when they are clearly the best that you got right now.
Yeah, they're really carrying the team right now, right? So not much else you can say about it.
And what I really get excited about with this too, it's Bedard, what he's doing now with nobody.
Yeah.
God, you give him the supporting cast he deserves. Oh, I feel so sorry for this league.
Yeah, right.
So sorry for the league.
Just with Mrazek, like his stats look worse because of the 8 goal, the fucking last Dallas game just now. But if we're just can remove that like anomaly from like what he's done over the past 2 weeks, he was 2-1-1 with a .912 save percentage and a .294 goals against average. And then going into that Dallas game, I swear, man, every bounce was just going their way. There was even one goal at the end of the game when Soderblom was in where it was tipped and then goes off a Tenorti's skate and just right into the net. And it was just kind of like that kind of a day. And it's really funny because it reminded me of when Dallas wasn't good and the Hawks were getting really good. And it was the same time that like Kaner did the spinorama backhand.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure we won that game like 8-1.
I think so too. Yeah.
So like now that Dallas is like a tough playoff like competitor and we're like at the bottom of the league, I'm like, damn, this is what I felt like 13 years ago for them. Probably like, oh my god, every bounce.
Plus Dallas feels like a team of destiny this year. Like
dude,
just a couple weeks ago against
so good. They are so good.
In that game against Nashville, what was it last week? That they were down by 2 with like, what was it, 15 seconds left, and they won in regulation.
Yep. They scored 2 goals like 8 seconds apart.
That's ridiculous. Like, I don't know. Everything's just gelling for these guys. Duchesne's playing great for them. He's bouncing back after being
Jason Robertson is killing it. They had Rupe
Pavelski.
Hintz got a hattie on Saturday. Oh, sorry, Friday. And then Mason Marchment got a hattie on Sunday. I was like, oh, can we stop? Can we stop, please?
Pavelski, the ageless wonder. Yeah. Like, that dude. I kind of want them just to win the cup, just so Pavelski retires.
Yeah, Suter scored his first goal of the season, too, against us. I was like, yeah, whatever. Just pile it on.
Of course.
So frustrating. But, yeah, they're good, man. They're a good team. Holy shit. Especially when you're looking at the teams at the top of the league, at least in the Central right now, we just played 2 of the top teams. And I swear Dallas was far more impressive than Winnipeg was. And Dallas is playing without Ottinger, too. So it's like, god damn.
I feel like Winnipeg is, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're absolutely fantastic. Like, especially December, like I took them as my team of the month. We'll talk about that in a little bit, though. But I feel like a lot of them they're playing weaker teams and are getting good breaks.
Maybe. I think Winnipeg's also just not a very high scoring, like in my mind, I don't know, maybe they are, but like I don't think they're a high scoring team, but they're really good like defensively.
Fair. 3 stars for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, why not, huh?
All right. I think first star. You want to start at first or third?
We always started third, huh?
All right, start at third. I'm going Khrushchev.
Oh, I was gonna say JD, little Jason Dickinson.
You know what? Yeah.
Screw Khrushchev. 3 goals, 1 assist, +6. Still, like, so we were texting about like the full calendar year stats.
Yeah.
And Jason Dickinson is like leading or like in the top 3 in points.
He's second with points.
Second with points. And only, I think it's 38 points. He's got 2 points shorthanded and no other points on the power. He has no power play time. So he's all 5-on-5 points.
Sorry. So he actually is tied with Seth Jones for 38 points, 17 goals. He is second on the team in scoring in the last calendar year. He is tied for second in assist. He tied for points, and that, like you said, 2 shorthanded points, no power play points.
Everything's 5-on-5.
And he's only a -10.
Yeah, I mean the team was ended the year terribly, but like he's been I don't know what he is like currently in this season, but he's +6 for the last 2 weeks.
Let's see, Jason Dickinson he's +9.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's kind of impressive right now. He's third on the team in points, and he's the only one that's a plus until Vlasic, who's at 12th on the team in points. They're both +9.
If Kyle Davidson can't get the return, like a good return for him, I hope they sign him an extension.
Yeah, I think he's a great player.
I would love to keep him around for foreseeable future. Like
he's only 28 as well. So like,
I know
if they do get him on an extension, and then he's still going to be rocking.
He fits perfect for what this team needs for like that. That he's that bottom 6 guy, but he can get moved up and down.
Yeah,
like when
he's a penalty killer too.
Exactly. Like I don't know why you wouldn't want to keep him, but I get when you're trying to rebuild. Although
He's also got an A. That's another good reason too.
Keep him.
And you got to spend money next year, so why not?
I mean, yeah, this team is. Are they going to be, going all out this upcoming offseason? No, but you need to start taking that next step now. The teardown is done. The rebuild has begun. They got the picks they need. They have got the prospects pool is growing again. You don't need to continue to trade for picks right now.
No, not really.
No, I mean, if it's a good, solid pick, like a Lafferty McCabe type trade where you get a first round pick.
First rounders, right?
Exactly. I mean, but other than that, it's like you need to fill this team out with guys that are going to compete and are going to be supportive of Bedard and help him take to the next level. Like Nick Foligno too. I legitimately hope he signs for at least another year in Chicago.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. I mean, now that I'm looking at over the last 2 weeks, so Bedard's averaging like 19 and a half minutes time on ice, and Jason Dickinson's averaging 18 minutes and 16 seconds. And just to think about how Dickinson also is not doing any power play time.
Yeah, that's insane.
Right?
I mean, they're riding those bottom six lines a lot.
Yeah, so I think that he's such a good fit to keep on this team for that reason alone. Like he's a point producing 5-on-5 player that can play the penalty kill.
Yeah. And he wins the faceoff, man. 46%. 46%.
What was it? Was against St. Louis at one point. He was like 16 for 17. And I was like, Jesus Christ. Like, that's awesome. That's just fantastic.
All right, so Jason Dickinson, third star.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Second star, I think you got to go Mrazek.
Got to go Mrazek.
I mean, you can put the asterisk with him with the last game, but again, wasn't entirely his fault.
It's not his fault at all, man. The bounces that Dallas had that game was just crazy.
And then the first star is our baby boy, Connor Bedard.
Little baby boy. I forgot. I should have been wearing my Bedard jersey. Got that for Christmas. Gosh.
After we go back and forth about being that guy that buys an 18-year-old's hockey jersey and you get one for Christmas.
See, that's the thing. Like, I didn't buy it. So does that make it weird still?
3 goals, 4 assists, 7 points, 1.17 points per game, 1 power play point, and then also had the game-winning goal, like we said, against Winnipeg, 21 shots, 14.3 shooting percentage. He's just feeling it, man.
Yeah.
I'm really happy with his progression and excited to see him build on it and where he's going to end up this year.
Dude, every time he has the puck, I'm like, what's going to happen? Like, what's he going to do? And then it's always like some sort of scoring chance. Whenever he shoots it, I'm like, oh, this one's going in. Like I just get so hyped, man. It's crazy. It's so much fun to watch.
Looking ahead, tonight the Blackhawks take on the Predators in Nashville. They got a little mini 3-game road trip. First up, it's Nashville. Then Thursday, Friday, they got the Rangers and the Devils. And then they're back home on Sunday against the Calgary Flames.
The Devils.
Not an easy schedule coming up. And they do have a lot of hockey being played this month.
Oh, yeah, man. There's a lot of back-to-backs on like the last, November stretch where it was like every other day.
Yeah.
We got 3 back-to-backs here with every other day in between pretty much.
And then you got 1 back-to-back against really good teams. Then you got a back-to-back against bad teams. And then a back-to-back against a decent team and a good team.
I mean, both of those, like Seattle and Edmonton, are going to probably both be looking at the playoffs at that point.
Seattle's turning it up. I mean,
Edmonton's also been on fire.
Absolutely insane. So yeah, we'll just have to see. Hopefully, some reinforcements are coming from the injury block there. Something's got to give. Hopefully.
Yeah. But who's going to come off the injury reserve list first?
Who's even? Yeah, like.
I honestly like anything. Andreas Athanasiou like just disappeared.
So he was picking up.
I didn't even know what the deal was.
So he's got a groin injury.
Yeah.
And he was training on the comeback, and it still wasn't healing properly. So they just shut him down again, and he's getting another opinion from another doctor.
Man.
So I don't expect him back anytime soon.
All right. Well, I mean, if it's a groin injury and his whole thing is speed, you probably don't want to mess around with it.
Right. You got to take your time with him coming back.
Especially since it's like, what are you coming back to? Like, we're not making the playoffs, man. Like, take your time.
Yeah, there's no point in rushing anybody back right now.
Jeez.
Let's see. Seth Jones. I mean, we know Taylor Hall's not coming back. Seth Jones, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know when he's
his last update. Joey Anderson maybe might be the first one back.
I think Tyler Johnson or Taylor Radish. Because I don't think they're going to be out like long term.
At least a week, though.
Yeah. Speaking of Tyler Johnson, apparently it's been put out there that he's on the block for trading.
Yep. And teams are lining up to pick up his $5 million contract.
Yeah, obviously, they're not going to get $5 million. If anything,
no.
it'd be like, yeah, I guarantee it'd be like 50% retained.
Well,
maybe
yeah,
a third
but
team in there. Even
Tyler
Johnson at 2.5 isn't too bad.
No, yeah, but for playoff teams, you're gonna have to get another team involved to try to help retain salary because everybody is literally right up against that cap.
Salary back. Like somebody else that's on. Like you can even get like more picks if you're getting a guy that like is underperforming, has a higher salary, and then like has more years left on their deal. I don't know. We'll see.
Dude, it is insane looking at the amount of LTIRs, and it's all the top teams.
Which is funny because you look at all the top like really cap strap teams, they all have like 3, 4, 5, 6, Toronto, and then you drop down and there's like a couple 0, 6, and then the Blackhawks at the bottom with 8
injuries. Yeah, 8. LTIR for the top teams or cap scrap teams: Toronto with 5, Tampa Bay with 3, Colorado 5, Montreal 6, Vegas 5, Capitals 4. Like Jesus.
Yep.
They need to fix the salary cap system. That's all it is. They have to fix how this is done and cap manipulation and all this kind of stuff. It's bullshit.
Yeah. Man, oh man.
Bullshit.
The cap the Hawks are currently rocking $26.3 million on injury reserve. Oh god, it's so funny. Anyway, so I wanted to bring this up for you. Since we're looking at the roster and we're looking at the cap hits of everybody. Clearly with so many people with only 1 year left on, this is their last year of their contract, right?
Yes.
So I'm curious, who do you think this time next year is going to be on this team? Just going down the list, we'll just say yes or no, right?
Okay.
All right. And I mean, I'm just going off of cap friendly, so it's going to be based off of cap hit.
Cap hit main rosters.
Main roster, and it's going to be active players first, and then we'll go down to the injury reserve. So, Anthony Beauvillier.
Yes.
I think so, too. I think he'll end up getting a deal, and because I think he's a good skilled forward. I mean, if not, if they move him at the deadline, hey, we'll see.
I think it'll be like a 2-year, like $2.5 to $3 million deal. I know he's making 4.1 now.
I think it's gonna be similar to what he makes now because there's gonna be so much cap space.
Like an Anthony type of situation. Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, because also just before we get to further, I just want to bring up the fact that we have Brett Conley and Henrik Borgstrom and Duncan Keith all coming off of
that's true, and it's supposed to go up. Cap space is supposed to go up too next year.
Yeah, and so right now for next year for dead cap, currently before any kind of trades or anything, Jake McCabe is going to be at $2 million that we're still stuck with, and then Josh Bailey we still have 1.166. So only 3.1, 3.2 ish in dead cap for next year. whereas this year we have closer to 8 million stuck in dead cap.
And we still have like $9 million or $7 million in cap space.
Yeah, we are the Arizona Coyotes.
Oh,
All right, back to if they're going to be here or not. Nick Foligno.
I hope. I don't think so, but I hope.
I really hope so. I think he's just a really good leader for this team. Plus, like he doesn't look like he's 36 out there. Jason Dickinson.
Bet the action on the ice with DraftKings Sportsbook. You know, DraftKings makes it super easy to bet on NHL action. Just looking at games tonight, you have the Vancouver Canucks, who are just on an absolute tear this season that nobody really saw coming. They are money line favorites at -162. You have the Edmonton Oilers, who are looking to get their season back on track, -185. And then you even got the Carolina Hurricanes, who are just big time favorites with -258. Those are just some of the odds that DraftKings offers you each and every night. Make sure you download the app now and use code THPN. New customers get $150 instantly in bonus bets for betting just $5 on hockey. That's code THPN only on DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. The crown is yours. Bonus bet expire 168 hours after issuance. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of the Boot Hill Casino Resort. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 186 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligible and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources. NHL and the NHL Shield are registered trademarks with the NHL League. Copyright NHL 2023. All rights reserved.
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think he either gets moved or he is gonna get a nice little ticket in the offseason from someone else.
I think he's a target at the trade deadline for some teams that like need like the depth. I would love to have him back, but
100%.
I think he's gonna get moved.
Yeah, me too.
Because Kyle Davidson's not afraid to pull the trigger when he sees a good deal, right?
Right.
Kurashev, he's still got a year left, but what do you think?
Yes. The way he's turned it up this year and the fact that he's kind of becoming a solid pairing for Bedard.
Yeah.
He's found so much value on this team now.
Kurashev is like the only one that hasn't moved off the Bedard line since he's gotten back from injury. So
unless something major goes on or his game just disappears, I don't see him going anywhere.
True. Ryan Donato.
Yes.
Because he's got 1 year left on his deal.
Yeah. But I too, he's one of those players that I don't see teams going to be calling on. I think they're going to, especially because he's got that one extra year. So I think it's if he's going to get moved, it'll be next deadline, not this upcoming one.
Right. Yeah, unless his value some sort of skyrockets and a team's like, okay, well, we can get another year of him with the rest of the season locked in at $2 million, then yeah. But I think you're right. I think he's on the team till at least next year. Colin Blackwell.
No.
Last year, 1.2.
Yeah,
He's ever since he's come back from injury, man, he's very obviously like fucking awesome. I think that he either gets moved at the deadline or just gets a new deal somewhere in the offseason.
He'll be 31. I know I'm saying this like he's so old and he's younger than me, but I mean, he'll be 31 this March. You have Joey Anderson, who is 25 years old, who's an RFA this year, who is doing exactly what Colin Blackwell's doing. Blackwell's stepping into Joey Anderson's role. The only reason Blackwell's getting this opportunity is because Joey Anderson went down with an injury.
I mean, he was going to get the opportunity anyway, but being put on that line.
He got plugged into a hot line.
Yeah. And then, he also played really well on that line too. He's been a good spark plug for that line.
I think nah, man.
Nah, right. Sorry. What else were you going to say about Blackwell?
No, I was just saying, I think there's enough people in our system, like younger guys, that I would much rather see take his spot
Yeah.
Unless somebody unless there's somebody like Oliver Moore, Frank Nazar, who's getting ready to make the jump. I mean, that's just an extra roster spot. That's in my opinion.
Yeah, that's true. Obviously Bedard's going to be here. Cole Gutman,
Yes.
I would think he's going to be on the team still. He's still an RFA. Like I said before, when we were talking about the games recently, he's shown a lot more confidence, and he was a part of the one goal that the Hawks scored against Dallas recently, which was a gorgeous goal.
Yeah.
The great tic-tac-toe passing. I hope he continues to develop a bit more too.
He's just that spark plug, man.
Yeah. Yes.
Just that spark plug.
Right. I think he started the season like showing a lot of energy, and then it kind of hit like a skid, and they went down. And then since they brought him back up, he's been.
And then last year too, is the couple games that he looked great, and then he got injured and he had to get shut down for the year. It's like, I want to see him like a full season, no injuries, no being sent down. Like I want like a full span of games from him and just see where he's at.
Plus, not to mention, like I'm pretty sure he's just been in the line blender too, like recently, and just because like we keep saying those injuries. Lucas Reichel.
Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay, and why?
I think he is falling in line of needs a new change of scenery.
I think you're so early on that.
But I just think that it's getting to a point where make or break, he's not developing the way or transitioning his game the way they want to. And I think he's going to be involved in a trade at the draft.
See, he's only 21.
I know.
His team sucks.
I know.
And I don't think I'm pretty sure I hope that total vibe that you have about him turns out to be the way that everybody felt about Leon Draisaitl in Edmonton when they were like, why would you give this guy this deal? And then now they're like, oh my God, he's the greatest.
Right. Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I love Reichel. Like I want him to be good on this team. I just, for some reason, I just get the vibes that some deal's going to come along that is going to need a sweetener of a prospect. And I think he might be that sweetener.
Yeah. So there was the one thing, it was on like Spit and Chicklets or something where they were talking about Elias Pettersson wanting to come to Chicago. And I was like, if anything, because he's an RFA, like the Hawks would have to make a deal. And I guarantee part of the deal would have to be like, it would be Lucas Reichel.
Would you make that trade?
Like Reichel in a first?
For Pettersson?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. Absolutely. Are you kidding? Of course. I don't think there's a chance that happens, and that rumor is such a dumb rumor because Elias Pettersson's on a team that's literally like leading like at the top of their like division.
The only thing that I can see that being true isn't Vancouver kind of caps like up against the cap.
So,
I mean, he's owed a deal, right? He's owed a contract next year.
Yeah, if the Hawks try to fucking offer him a contract, well, like that's over what Vancouver can offer, then it would be like 4 first-round picks. And like that.
No. I'm just saying Vancouver might be willing to make a move because of that.
Yeah, I'm sure they'd move on from anybody else other than like Quinn Hughes. They right now with the way that their team works, it's Quinn Hughes, Brock Besser's come back into form, JT Miller, and Elias Pettersson.
Right.
And I think you can move anyone else just in order to keep that kind of together.
They don't really have much else they can move. That's the problem. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that I don't think the idea of Vancouver moving him is as far-fetched as it sounds.
So here, like what are you talking about? Because their whole defensive core is basically up next year. Like you don't have to re-sign like Tyler Myers or Ian Cole. Like that's $9 million between the two of them right there. Plus Elias Pettersson's making 7.3. So you only need, let's say like he wants to be closer to 12. You only need to free up like $5 million. And that's literally just don't fucking re-sign Tyler Myers.
Hand up. I wasn't even looking at defense. I was just looking at offense.
Okay. It's like they're gonna have plenty of space to like do that kind of a deal. Plus, at this point you'll have one less year of a lot of guys that like they were thinking about trying to move on from. I don't know how Connor Garland's doing, but I know everybody wanted him to be off the team. I guarantee if like the Hawks have space next year and they can acquire a pick, they would take on Connor Garland in a second.
He's got 3 goals, 13 assists for 16 points in 36 games.
Yeah. Anyway, if for whatever reason it comes down to like Elias Pettersson could be traded here, I would definitely make the trade. If it's around Lucas Reichel, I just don't see that happening at all.
It's got to be a game changer trade.
Yeah, and I mean the Hawks aren't in that position to make the trade for Elias Pettersson right now. Like this doesn't make any sense. Like why would you want to go and trade for a guy that is going to make over 10 million when you have all of the young guys in your depth chart? I don't know. I like going after Willie Nylander makes so much more sense as like the one big move that the Hawks do this offseason.
Right.
So moving back to are they going to be here or not? Mackenzie Entwistle.
I hope not. I'm so done with that guy.
I don't think he's going to be back unless it's like some really extremely cheap deal, because I think there's a lot of guys that can do exactly what he does already, like either in the minors or we can bring somebody in that does it too.
One of them being who you're about to say next.
Reese Johnson, baby. I love Reese Johnson.
Yeah.
He's my favorite bottom 6 guy by far. There's just something about Reese Johnson, man. He is always up to something. I fucking love it. Plus, he's not afraid to drop the mitts with anybody.
Yeah, I think he'll be here for sure.
Yeah, I hope so. He also randomly just gets like really good scoring chances. Like, it's great. Spark plug. Let's see. He's got 2 goals this year. Why not? All right, Brett Seney, who's on the squad right now because of the injuries.
Yeah, I think he'll sign, like, it'll be in Rockford, and he'll be that breaking glass in case of an emergency type of player, like that he's been the last 2 years. But
yeah, I don't think he's an NHL mainstay by any means. I think he's more of an AHL superstar. Yeah, because what he's got 21 points in 29 games in Rockford right now. It doesn't matter. Boris Kachuk.
Yes, but like on a 1-year minimum deal.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't think Davidson wants to give up on Kachuk at the moment because of like it was part of the Hagel trade. Also, I think he brings a good. I don't know. He can move up to like the second line at the most, I would say, dependent on like what's going on, and he can do some stuff. All right, defense. Nikita Zaitsev.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think so. Bouncing around. This is 7th defenseman making 4.5. That's gonna be a lot of cap space that's freed up again there. That's what I'm saying, man.
That's gonna be nice.
Jesus. Connor Murphy.
Yes.
I'm gonna say no.
I hope no.
I'm thinking they try to move him soon.
Yeah, it just will be interesting to see if they try to move him at this deadline or this off season or next step. Like it's just when they're going to do it, because he'll have 2 years left at 4.4.
Yep.
How much you're willing to retain on that to make it more favorable, and especially too now you're looking at 2 years out when the Hawks are going to want to utilize their cap that last year. That'll be interesting there.
Well, I mean, his deal ends when Bedard's deal ends, right? So, like, if you're retaining salary, that doesn't matter. And if you look at the way that they did the Jake McCabe deal trade last year, they retained half, and he had 2 full seasons left on that deal. It would be the exact same thing.
Well, no, I'm just saying that when McCabe's deal was because, I mean, the Hawks weren't looking to spend and be competitive yet. That last year where they'd be retaining him, that might be that fine line of, okay, do we need every ounce of our cap space to spend and go out there or whatever. That's what I'm saying. That's
I don't think the Hawks are capitalizing on like trying to be competitive year 3 of Bedard.
Year 4 Bedard.
Year 4, and then I mean, if it's year 4 where Bedard's got his first actual
Then it's
contract,
fine. Yeah.
then he's off the deal, off the books
Right.
completely
Yeah.
anyway. I just like how with like Kane and Taves, you're able to load up on their last year of their rookie contract because like they're already pushing playoffs. I don't think this team's pushing playoffs. They might be cusp, but like real competitiveness is going to happen when Bedard's on his first deal.
Fair.
Jared Tenorti.
No,
I don't think so either. Korchinski.
Yes.
Vlasic.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Yeah. Louis Crevier.
Yes, but in Rockford.
Yeah. I think what the big thing the Hawks really need is better veteran presence on the back end. Because their veteran presence is Connor Murphy, Seth Jones, Nikita Zaitsev, and Jared Tenorti. So I think they like need like a different like basically a Nick Foligno on the back end, right?
Yeah.
Like if we would have had Eric Johnson this year, it would have made more sense than last year. Not Eric Johnson, sorry, Jack Johnson. But I don't know. Peter Mrazek.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I think
he's played himself off this team.
I think so too. If they're able to, if they're getting somebody to make a trade for him at the deadline, like that would be great for him. If for whatever reason, like we play the rest of the season out with him, I would like to get him back at like another year, at least.
No, yeah, it'd be great. I think having him. I think we talked about this before. Having him come back with either Comesso. Well, probably Comesso as his backup to mentor and help that transition from the AHL to the NHL would be awesome.
Yeah. Or I honestly don't think Comesso will be like a next year thing.
Do you think they would roll Soderblom again and Mrazek?
Yeah. Just because goalies just take so much longer. They take so much longer, and there's no rush to, right? Like this isn't like Philadelphia, who was trying to still be competitive, bringing in Carter Hart.
Right.
Like Drew Comesso is 21. Like if he takes him till he's like 23, 24 to actually get more like backup like starting time in the NHL, that's completely fine.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Soderblom then, right?
I think so. I don't think like you said with Kachuk, I don't think Davidson's ready to give up on him yet.
Yeah, he's only 24. He's got another year left. I don't think there's any real reason to make moves for goalies or to make moves for goalies getting off the team. Other than like if somebody comes looking for a Mrazek with like a good deal.
Yeah.
I would assume that we would have to get like, can you imagine if we trade Mrazek at the deadline and then our starting tandem is like either Soderblom and Stauber or Soderblom and Comesso, and then it's just a shit show for the rest of the season.
That's like the whole Anton Forsberg situation. Like Crawford went down and we had nobody there to help him. And
Anton Forsberg and JF Berube.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, that's the only thing
that can't happen again.
We could be in danger of having the latter half of the season be like 8 goals against per game all the time.
You got to bring in like a Marty Turco situation.
We'll just have Nikolai Hababulin sign a deal with us instead.
Oh God, that's
51 years old playing in the K. Oh my God. All right, so then now we're gonna go to the injury reserve, guys. Seth Jones.
Unfortunately.
Obviously, he's gonna be on the team. Taylor Hall.
Yeah.
He's got 1 more year left.
Yeah.
Tyler Johnson.
No.
I don't think so either. Andreas Athanasiou.
Yes.
He's got another year left. Joey Anderson.
Yes, I hope so. I really do.
I think he's still an RFA too. So him getting another deal closer to like 1.5 probably, because I don't know, especially if it's only like a year or so. I would love to see him playing again.
Treat him like Khrushchev. Treat him like Khrushchev. Keep giving him a couple of these short-term deals, and then be like, all right, here's a 2-year deal, prove it, then we'll talk, kind of thing.
Yeah. And then the last one's Taylor Radish.
Yes.
Okay. Taylor Radish has been very disappointing this season, I think.
Yeah, I think he's not healthy. Obviously, now.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not healthy now because he's on the IR, but I think something's up with him. And hopefully it's just not a mental thing with
he was just
in Canada.
Given the time, right? Like there's all the ice time in the world to have there, but you didn't really capitalize on it. I was wondering. I guess I don't really have to go into like any of the minor league guys because I think they're all young enough that they'll probably just end up being if they're on their last year, like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if anything, this time next year, I think we'll see Del Mastro play a couple games up. I think Nolan Allen gets a couple games. We'll be playing games up now.
This is what I actually wanted to do too. Not just the guys that are in the AHL, but the guys that are in college. So Frank Nazar, do you think he plays at the end of this year? At the end of this year?
At end of this year, no.
Like the end of this season, if he signs the Hawks.
Yeah, at the end of the Michigan season's over. Yeah. Yes.
He's killing it right now at World Juniors.
Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah. It'd be great, honestly, if he stays there though. Like it's not gonna be the worst thing in the world.
No.
Because I think him whenever he's ready, he'll probably be able to just do the transition from Michigan straight to the Hawks.
Yeah.
And not spend time in Rockford.
Right.
Because, I mean, if I had the choice, if I was him, I'd rather go to Michigan than Rockford.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. 100%.
I don't think, Oliver Moore, I think
he's, no.
Yeah, he's staying in Minnesota.
It'll be, and if he does play next year with the Hawks, it'll be either end of the season or it's going to be like a Logan Cooley situation where it's like last second, like change of the mind, sign a contract type of thing.
Yeah. Another guy I'm looking at, like Ryan Green, he plays for Boston. I think
I don't know enough about him to give an answer.
Probably not. Well, there's one that I'm interested in. Is like Landon Slaggert, who's kind of like in I think his last year at Notre Dame. Yeah, he was on the World Junior team for US not like last year, obviously, because he's like 21, but when he was eligible, he was on the team for 2 years. In 21-22, he put up 6 points in 5 games. I think I don't know, he might still be leading Notre Dame. He's the captain there. From what I've like read online on like Elite Prospects is that he's not afraid to throw his body around. He's 6 foot.
I think he's Rockford bound.
I think he's going to be Rockford bound, but I wouldn't mind seeing him where like Entwistle is, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like,
yeah,
on that, like give him a shot there. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else that's like kind of interesting. I mean, yeah, Colton Dock we were talking about. Like, I think maybe he's on the NHL roster next year.
Who is in concussion protocol right now because he got sucker punched.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Oh man, that sucks. I don't know. There's a lot of young guys that I don't think are going to make the jump quite yet. Like, so Oliver Moore, Nick Lardis, Martin Misiak. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Sam Renzel. I don't think he's playing. Adam Guyon is killing it at World Juniors right now. I mean, US smoked Slovakia, but he was sick that game, so he didn't play. He didn't dress. But every other game, he's been a huge reason that they're winning those games.
Yeah, the only thing I can see with him, it's like, 'cause he's killing it at World Juniors, he's killing it and in the USHL for Green Bay. It's like, do you sign him to put him in Rockford? Because it's like, is he really going to get any better right now?
Well, that's what I'm curious as to if he's going to go college, because it's so interesting that got drafted and then came and went to the USHL.
Well, he got drafted out of the USHL.
I thought he got drafted out of Slovakia.
No, I'm
and
pretty sure he
came to
played
the
USHL
USHL
last
this
year.
year. Oh, he was on the Gamblers last year. Okay. Oh, okay. That's why he had his fucking green pads.
Oh, he's committed to Minnesota Duluth for next year.
Oh, cool. Okay. Well, that's good.
There,
That's good to
that
know
answers
then.
that then.
Where did you find that at? Was that on
On Elite Prospects.
Got it. Okay. Well, that's good to know. Awesome. Yeah, other than that, I think there's no other like big names really gonna look at it. I think Frank Nazar is like the only one that possibly makes the jump this year.
Yeah, I think.
Maybe
I mean,
Landon Slaggert. Actually, that one too.
yeah,
At the end of the year, I think he signs with the Hawks, which I think would be good. Especially if he's a guy that plays the body and brings that energy. That's immediate, like, all right, see you later, and whistle. And
100%. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want Reese Johnson to not be on the team, but it's the same type of player, right?
You can only have so many of them.
Can only have so many. That's right. Colin Blackwell is probably not going to be here anyway, too. So
right, so that's going to open up more. All right.
It'd be very interesting to see what this team looks like next year at this time, whether or not we're going to be in the same place or if we're going to be somewhat better.
We're not going to be about. No, we'll be better. I'm convinced we'll be taking that step. I think
Bedard's going to be over a point per game.
Yeah, I think we'll be in that spot where we're not going to be a legit playoff contender, but we're going to be scaring the bottom part of the Central Division who is fighting for a playoff spot. And I think we'll be like making them be like, oh shit, here are the Hawks. You got to worry about them a little bit.
Yeah.
And then the following seasons when it's like, okay, this team might be able to start doing it.
Yeah, that'd be nice if we're more like in the pack rather than like bottom feeding.
So
no rush though.
No rush.
Dan, our goal differential is -50. Jesus. Yeah. It's not as bad as San Jose, -78.
That's ridiculous. They're so bad.
Yeah.
God. All right, so we're at almost about an hour here. You got anything else?
Not for the Hawks, no. Oh, the Bedard career sim. That's what it was.
Oh yeah.
How accurate do you think this is going to be? So EA put out career simulations for like the top rookies, and out of all of them, they have Bedard playing 1,701 games, 844 goals, 1,107 assists for 1,951 points, 5 Richard trophies, 6 Art Rosses, 5 Hart trophies, 5 Ted Lindsays, 3 Conn Smythes, and 3 Stanley Cups.
Not enough Stanley Cups.
Not enough Stanley Cups. Yeah, man. If that's what happens.
Oh, yeah. Let's fucking go.
The next 20 years are going to be insane.
Now, is that all with Chicago?
Why wouldn't it be?
I'm just checking. Hey, EA, how they do their stupid, once you get down like year 10 of the franchise mode and there's ridiculous trades out there. You never know.
Oh, there's no way he gets traded. If anything, it's the EA model of they sign all like their terrible players for like too much money, and then they have no cap space and let their big stars walk.
Yeah. Oh shit. So
if his career comes out, honestly, it could even be better.
If it's a quarter of that, man, I'd be happy.
Yeah. A quarter of that would be what? A third, 2/3 of a Stanley Cup? Why would you say that?
All right, real quick NHL talk. Winter Classic. Kraken won 3-0. First shutout in Winter Classic history.
Yeah, buddy.
Couldn't have happened against a better team.
That's right. They deserve it.
The
The jerseys are pretty nice. Seattle's were so good looking.
Top 3 Seattle. I mean, I like the setup of Vegas's a lot more than I initially did. I still wish they would have done the cool with the logo instead of just the V. But I mean, it was both teams great setups.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Hockey's fun.
Hockey's fun. I mean, I got nothing else.
Yeah, I don't really know if there's anything really. Zegras also doing the Michigan the same night as Bedard was hilarious and insane. And his was just so crazy impressive with how nonchalant he just picked it up with the toe of his stick. It's crazy.
It's all right. Hey, he's all show, man. That's all he is.
I mean, he's been hurt
one
for a
move.
while. And so, yeah, he's done it 3 times.
I know. I don't mind Zegras, but I don't think he's up to the hype that everybody gives him. Like, he, to me, is a personality. Like, he reminds me of that always hockey kid. Like,
Yeah.
he can do all the cool trick shot stuff, but it's like, when it comes down to like actual hockey play, like, what can he actually do? Like,
you're just an old man.
no, it's not even
with
that.
the times. He's good.
It's not even that. I don't think he's as good as like people say he is. I think he just looks a lot better because he's on a really bad Anaheim team.
I think that he's a good offensive player. That's what I'll say. Like, if he gets alongside of like a solid 2 forwards who are more defensively responsible, because obviously he's not a big kid. He's not bad. He's got good hands.
So, all right, episode 257.
Oh shit!
Come on, this should be easy.
Isn't it the year of Nolly?
Year of Nolly.
Yeah.
Do we call it the year of Nolly? Even though he couldn't return a text to come on today?
Yeah, year of Nolly has begun.
All right, episode 257. Make sure to follow us on all your favorite podcast feeds, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever. YouTube, social media at WCB Podcast, DraftKings promo code THPN. We're going to be doing some live streams coming up here in the new year. Do some watch-alongs, so keep an eye out for those. And I think 2024 is going to be an awesome year for us, I think.
Yeah, why not?
2023 was an amazing year. The show grew so much.
Hopefully I'm coming back to Chicago.
Let's go.
Hopefully that's this year. That'd be great.
Let's go. So maybe some in-person episodes.
That'd be great, man. So I'm not moving back to the city. I'll be in the suburbs, if anything.
Let's go. Hey, I'm looking for a house. I'm looking for houses with 2 houses for sale, either next to each other or across the street from each other. So
yeah,
keep
right.
an eye out.
A cul-de-sac would be nice too. Play some roller hockey.
Let's go. All right. We'll see you guys on the next one.
All right. Love you, boys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WCB Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast. To connect with Jarom and Tanner, check out the boys at WCB Podcast on all social media. We'll see you next time.